Assassin's Creed has an amazing comic book line from Titan Comics. I've truly enjoyed it, but I am a die-hard Assassin's Creed fan. Now, we did parts 1 and 2 a long time ago, and I'm going to give you the links to those videos down below. This is part 3 so that we can end the original 12 issues that made up the storyline. If you really enjoy it, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and give us a comment so that we know that you want more. There is more to this story. But let's go ahead and move forward. I know it's been a while, but this is the story of Assassin's Creed and how they've been trying to figure out what to do after the games have ended. When we last left off, our main character Charlotte and the others of the Brotherhood had been sifting through an Incan ancestor for a possible lead on what the Templars' next plan was. With only finding a name from the past, Charlotte convinced Galena and Cody to pursue a lead through the hacktivist group known as Yorito. But what Charlotte found is that the leader of this hacktivist group was none other than her grandmother Florencia. After Charlotte and the others landed in Argentina, Charlotte's grandmother Florencia had taken them to the Yorito hideout to discuss their course of action against the Templars. As they sit in the conference room, Florencia shouts to Charlotte that they've already made contact with Consus. They could use her to find him again. Consus is a being that is inside of everyone's minds and memories. No one really knows who they are, but they are from the first civilization. If you've been playing the video games, they are very much like Juno, but they're the comic book version. DeWalt shouts that this isn't about bravery or anything, it's the fact that they have now brought an outsider into their group, which Yorito is supposed to remain unseen. Charlotte tells the two of them that she's sure they can come to a solution that will make them happy. They are supposed to be on the same side, right? And DeWalt stops and then says Florencia didn't tell her, did she? About the Phoenix Project? Charlotte asks what the hell is that, and another Yorito member, Gredencia, says, well, there's another one like Consus out there. Whereas Consus is open to a free mind, the Templars want to unleash Juno, which is the exact opposite of Consus, to make her the new queen. Florencia tells him that that's enough. There's no need to overwhelm Charlotte more than she already has. And DeWalt shouts that no, this isn't how Yorito works. There are rules and a hierarchy. This calls for a vote of non-confidence for bringing her here. Florencia storms out stating, fine, let them all have a vote, and we'll see if anyone else supports him. As Florencia leaves, Charlotte follows asking if they can really just kill the plan. And Florencia tells her that there's no way DeWalt would get support. Soon, the rest of Yorito will remember why they ignored him and put her in charge in the first place. And Charlotte then asks, what about this Phoenix Project? Why not tell her about it sooner? Florencia explains that she just didn't want to put more pressure on her. They were intrigued when they learned that Consus had contacted her through a memory. It was thought that he would only speak with a young assassin named Giovanni Borgia. But now it would seem that there is another time later in time and perhaps a secret message that he put out. Charlotte asks, but wouldn't the Templars also have access to it? They have access to all of Giovanni's memories. And Gredencia steps up holding a tablet stating, I hate to brag, but this is a visual representation of what memories look like when they're coded into the Animus. See what I'm pointing at? Charlotte tells him no, and Gredencia says, exactly, neither can Abstergo. The point is that there is something not quite right about it. Best guess is that it's a false memory. The Templars don't know about the second encounter because Giovanni doesn't remember it. Charlotte then says that even if Giovanni doesn't remember it, one of their ancestors was there to witness it, and Gredencia says, boom. A short while later in the conference room, both Florencia and DeWalt argue their points on whether they should or should not interact on this mission. As Florencia goes on, Charlotte can see from the looks of everyone that Florencia's views are not coming across properly. Charlotte then stands up telling everyone that she can understand that they may be scared. What they face right now is that the Templars will try to ruin or even kill anyone who opposed them. The Brotherhood wasn't enough. They had people all across the world and they still got smashed by the Templars. Their enemy is stronger than all of them here and they wouldn't be able to stop them from launching Phoenix Project. That's why she suggests that there should be a merger between the Brotherhood and Yorito. Galena smacks her walking stick on the table, shouting that she has no authority to make that decision. Why would they join Yorito anyway? They're weak and broken. Gredencia asks, like the Brotherhood is so fantastic. What's the name of the guy that you spent months searching for? Joseph? Galena asks, so you hacked the Brotherhood? And Gredencia laughs, telling them, I wouldn't call it hacking. The Brotherhood's encryption is a joke. Charlotte asks, did he actually find him or is it BS? And Gredencia says that after San Diego, they didn't like him just running around. He's also going by the name Alan Wilde right now. Charlotte looks back and says that here's what she proposes. Let her find Consus for them. She'll tell everyone about their findings and then they can decide the best way to deal with the Phoenix Project. In exchange, give them Joseph's whereabouts and Galena will find him using Yorito's field agents as backup, proving Florencia's value in her vision. Gredencia then begins pinging and says that the votes are rolling in. Florencia's plan is greenlit. Later in the lab, Cody tells Charlotte that something is off, like they're not being told everything about who they're jumping in with. The ancestor that they're going after is Harem Stoddard. That's Stoddard. And Charlotte asks, so? Tom Stoddard was a bastard too. If you're curious about Tom Stoddard, then go check out our earlier video in this 3-video series. Cody says sure, but Harem came out of nowhere. Something may have happened to him when he met Consus. So Charlotte takes the jump. She puts on the animus, which allows her to go into her own DNA and visit the memories of her own ancestors. She finds herself in 1516 Greece looking at Giovanni Borgia. He shouts to Harem that he should have known that he would be coming for the Piece of Eden, and Harem tells him, "Do not get in his way. I'm stronger than you." Giovanni reaches down and he throws a fistful of sand into Harem's eyes, telling him that he hadn't forgotten. And as the two begin to fight, Giovanni shouts that he doesn't have to do this. The Brotherhood needs that Piece of Eden to stop this holy war. Stopping it could save thousands, and Harem yells that it doesn't matter, he needs it more. Giovanni tells him that he shouldn't punish the world for what happened, and Harem thrusts his sword, shouting for him to shut up. The blade cuts into Giovanni's shoulder, and Giovanni manages to kick the sword from Harem and throw him to the ground. He reaches down and he picks up a small object, and it reveals itself to be the Piece of Eden. He says that they don't have everything to find this. That mission, they're first together, and they're last. It is not too late. The Brotherhood will take him back. And Harem says that it doesn't matter. He wants to find her, so leave him. Back in the current time, Charlotte leaps out of the seat, stating that there is no Consus in that memory. And Florencia walks in, stating that their algorithms show that Consus should have appeared in 1516. So Cody says that he doesn't think that they can trust those algorithms, or this place for that matter. Charlotte jumps between the two of them, telling Florencia that she's sorry, but she isn't holding anything back, is he? There's no danger in bloody Harem's mind, is there? But before Florencia can answer, Guernencia comes in, stating that he just got word from some people that they're flipping to DeWalt's side. They want another vote on the operation. As Florencia leaves, Cody says, all right, they're going back to 1515. Meanwhile, over in Somalia at the awards ceremony on the other operation that is happening, field agents Michelle and Sheed scout, while Galena of the original Brotherhood team stays back watching the scanner for Joseph, a rogue Brotherhood member who turned to the Templar side. Galena says that one of the women there funded the operation that had Joseph's boyfriend killed, and he's going to make sure that she dies. Just then, a hit comes across the scanner as Galena moves into position and she sees that the target is not Joseph. Back at the stage, Joseph walks his target off when Michelle spots him and hits him with a mic. He turns back with a pair of scissors, stabbing into Michelle's chest, and he runs off. Sheed quickly chases after towards Galena's location, and as Galena radios asking where did he go, she hears something. Joseph jumps down, knocking Galena down, then he pulls out two hand axes and he tells her, "You should not have come here." However, in 1515 Tuscany, in the Animus, Harem and Giovanni are training while Harem begins to tell a joke. In a moment of hesitation, he reaches down, grabbing some sand and throwing it in Giovanni's eyes. Harem laughs, telling him that he'll get him some water to wash that out. And the second Harem turns his back, Giovanni charges at him. He turns back to throw Giovanni down, and then a voice shouts to Giovanni, telling him to stop his ridiculous behavior. Both of them quickly bow their heads, and Giovanni tries to explain. But their teacher, Ezio, tells them that there are no rules when on a mission, only the code of the Brotherhood. Harem says that he shouldn't have been playing dirty, but Ezio says that Giovanni will learn from this, and Harem is talking to distract him. Although it is a difficult strategy to perfect, I'm rather impressed. He then says to Harem that they will begin training again tomorrow. He is dismissed for now. Before leaving, Harem tells Elena goodbye, and she blushes, telling him goodbye. Later that day, Harem meets with Elena by the barn and says that he's glad that she came by. He wanted to give her a gift. He wraps a scarf around her neck, telling her that when it gets cold, it'll keep her warm. Because back in London, the winters are getting really cold. As they talk, Giovanni watches from outside the barn, brooding over what he is witnessing. Moments later, Ezio runs up, stating that he's sorry to interrupt his pursuits, but he just received a message from his old friend Michelangelo. He's uncovered a new Templar plot, and he needs their help. And for this mission, he'd be putting him in charge, but Giovanni under his command. Harem says that he knows Giovanni isn't going to like that, and Ezio tells him that he'll learn to. He has great faith that Giovanni will fulfill his potential. The next day in Florence, Harem, Giovanni, and Michelangelo all scout the Templar dei Putrisi, thought to be holding the Piece of Eden. As the carriages pass by, Harem says that he's right there. They should just go take it. And Giovanni shouts no, they need to wait and come up with a plan first. There are dozens of Templars down there. If they try to grab it, they're going to be caught. Harem stands on the ledge, telling him, well, I think it's an excellent plan. And he leaps off the ledge. As he jumps, he gets to work taking out the Templars and gaining control of the carriage, but seconds later, he crashes it. Petrucci falls out, and Harem grabs the back of the piece, but another Templar appears, cutting the strap. The two fight, and as Harem finishes knocking him out, Giovanni walks up, telling him, great, now we've lost him. Later at the tavern, the three men sit for a drink while Giovanni shouts that he's going to send a bird to Ezio to report what a failure this mission has become, and how unfit Harem is to become an assassin. Michelangelo says that he won't lie. Today has been pretty bad. Ezio might even send him back to England. But while they go on arguing, the barmaid gives Harem another drink and tells him a handsome man like him shouldn't have a sad face on him. He kisses her hand and he tells her, what do you know of the words of love? The next morning, Michelangelo wakes up Harem, telling him that a young lady came by to see him. She had a country feel about her. I think her name was Elena. Harem runs outside, telling Elena that he's so happy to see her, but she asks, are you really? I came to console you after reading the letter, but how could I console you when you were with a serving girl? Harem stops and tells her, wait, all she did was teach him a poem in Italian, and Elena stops him, telling her that it was all her fault. She always knew that he was too wild. Harem then asks, "Who told you such lies?" And Giovanni steps out, stating that he did. Just then, Harem charges at Giovanni and punches him, and soon Elena breaks the two of them up. She says that she was blinded by his charm. She won't be there when they return. Don't try to find her. And she takes out the scarf, and that's when it hiccups. The animus, the memory, glitches, and the same scene replays again. Over and over that same scene, but they are all in different costumes. One where Harem kills Giovanni, and another where Harem kills himself by jumping off of the roof. Charlotte continues to go through the false memories, telling herself that there must be a key here, some thread of truth. The scarf. She focuses on it like she did on Tom Stoddard back in Salem. And for a split second, she touches the scarf. Suddenly there's a flash of light, and Charlotte begins to see the memory clearly. Consus speaks through Giovanni, stating that his words are for the Watcher, the one who will become the shepherd. Your enemy seems to manifest, child, but the mountain slimmer calls to many. Its summit shall see her true awakening. You must let the wolf dwell with the lamb. Elena shouts, asking what just happened, and Harem says that it wasn't him, and she stumbles back. He reaches out to catch her, but as he grabs, he misses the scarf. Back in the current times, the facility alarms begin to go off, and Cody shouts that the Templars have found them. Florencia says that whatever Consus said, they had to figure it out. But right now, they need to get to the server room. Credencia says that that's insane. The protocol is to wipe them once everyone is safe. They won't make it to the server room to do an upload and save all the memories. And Charlotte tells everyone that if they want to run and hide, go ahead, but she's going to help her grandmother. Meanwhile, back in Somalia, Michelle rams into Joseph, throwing him off his balance, and as he turns back, he begins to choke her. Sheed aims his gun and tells Joseph to get on his knees, and Galena shouts to just kill him. Sheed says, wait, and Galena says that he's a murderer. He killed members of her Brotherhood team. Shoot him! And Michelle tells everyone to hang on. She just got word. The Templars found the island. They need to get back. So Joseph pauses for a second, telling them that if they let him go with them, he has a plane. He'll get them back. He just wants Charlotte because she's special. She can change the world if she isn't poisoned by the Brotherhood or killed by the Templars. Galena stares and says that Charlotte is their priority, but once this is finished, revenge is moving right back to her list. Meanwhile, back on the island, Garnencia finishes setting up the charges on the servers, and Florencia says that they can't go yet. She isn't finished uploading the data. The sound of gunfire can be heard, and Charlotte pulls Florencia away, stating they have to go now. And as they run, she drops the storage device, with Cody turning back to grab it, and as he does, he is shot. Once they get outside, Charlotte cries that now she has lost someone else to all of this, and Florencia says that he was a good soldier. He saved the data. We need to honor his sacrifice and get moving so that the Templars... But Charlotte is bubbling up with rage, and then she hugs Florencia, stating that if she hadn't dragged him here. Meanwhile, they hear the sound of a plane approaching, and everyone looks up to see it getting shot out of the sky. Where it crashes, the Templar soldiers begin to scout the area, and then they see a body laying out there. They point their guns at it, so Joseph leaps out of a tree, punching one man and cutting the other's throat. While the other aims his gun, Michelle takes her knife and drives it into his back. Joseph asks how long until the assassins get here, and Galena says that she's not sure. He crashed the plane before she could finish sending the coordinates. As Joseph begins to argue, Michelle shouts for them to just stop. Sheed is dead. They need to figure out what shot them down, because more planes are going to be coming. Over on the other side of the island, Florencia points to where the boats should be, but Charlotte tells everyone to stop. Something isn't right. And when she focuses on the cave's entrance, she realizes that their escape is too easy. There must be people waiting inside. She grabs Florencia, shouting that they can't do that. There are people waiting to ambush them. And she asks, how could that even be possible? They're off the grid. No one should be able to track them. And then she thinks back to her run with Sanchez when he stabbed her in the foot. It was when he placed a tracer in her. Granencia says that he agrees, then something does seem off. They need to go with Charlotte's plan. As they all leave, she says that she is going to stay back. The only reason why they're here is because of the tracer in her bloodstream right now. And Florencia shouts, she knew it. They didn't do the scan when they came in. And Charlotte yells, I know, I'll make up for it even if it means my life. Now just get the hell out of here. Over on the western side of the island, a man in a gunboat sits playing a game on his phone when suddenly there's a shimmer of light. A second later, an axe is thrown into his chest, and Joseph tells everyone, we gotta move. And everyone begins to board the ship. Just as they get on, some of the soldiers open fire, hitting some of the missiles, creating an explosion. Michelle runs through the fire, knocking one guard out and taking his gun to kill another. And as they set off the boat, Joseph kneels down with his back caught from the blast, stating, it's not good, huh? Galena says the boat isn't going anywhere, and Joseph tells them, same goes for me. She tells him it's not true, but Joseph says, it's fine. My time is up. It's time for me to finally get to see Christian. Just do me a favor. Don't let the Brotherhood change Charlotte. And Galena says he really doesn't know her, does he? A short while later in the woods, Florencia hears everyone coming and tells everyone to get down, and a voice shouts for them to come back. They're surrounded. Florencia stands up, stating that she is unarmed, but Galena and Michelle run out going, oh, thank God. However, in another part of the island, Charlotte runs up trying to avoid the guards chasing her when they corner her at a mountain cliff. As they begin to fight, she grabs a branch, cracking it over one man's head, and a voice tells her, impressive. Charlotte looks back to see Sanchez from our previous story, the second one in the trilogy, and says that she was wondering if he was going to show up. She sighs, telling herself that it looks like she failed everyone, and then the gunfire rings out. Sanchez and his men are all shot, and behind Charlotte a helicopter flies up. Florencia slides open the door and she begins to run towards it, and with all of her strength, she leaps. Galena and Gradencia catch her and they pull her in. And the pilot says that they picked up her distress signal and figured that they would come check it out. As the helicopter flies away, Charlotte stares at the island and Florencia tells her that she knows she asked too much of her, but because of her, the data is safe. They regroup with the assassins and they figure out that they can get the tracer out and be done with it. And Charlotte tells her no, she can't stop now. She actually hopes the Templars find her because this time, she's going to be waiting for them. Now, Assassin's Creed Origin has come out, so if you enjoy that game or you want to see myself and Natalie play it on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/eligiblemonster, come on over. We play a lot of video games there, and you can find us playing Assassin's Creed Origin on the weekend that it has come out. If you just want to talk to me about the game, then follow me on Twitter, @Comicstorian. I respond to my tweets mostly, and you can also follow me on Instagram, @Comicstorian. I'm a lot harder to reach on there simply because I get spammed a lot. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this trilogy. Let me know if you want more.